Okay, so yesterday I released a video showing how to manage your colors with ATF or Advanced Theme Framework. And we touched on the color set utility classes that take advantage of the framework colors. Today I want to talk more about the actual color sets and how you can use those and how you can modify them and use them as a really cool way of applying a set of colors to a block of content, whether it's a section, container, a block, whatever it is. A really cool way you can just be very consistent in how you apply those colors. So we're going to start by just creating a section. In that section, I'm just going to add a header, some copy, a link, a button, and we're going to go to the section. We're going to add our color set utility, which is the first one there. Again, it does nothing until we apply a color set variation. So we're going to use the neutral. In this case, I'm going to use the neutral, say D3, that'll do. And now we've got a color set where we've set our typography for our heading to a light color, our typography for our body copy to a light color, and our text link is set to a light color. I'm also going to quickly show you in here one other thing that I didn't show yesterday. I'm going to call this accent. And we're going to make that into a class. I'm just going to make it any old class. It's going to accent text. And you're going to see our color of our text changed. Okay, why did it change? Because the color set has a rule there to look for any class that has the name accent and apply some colors to it. So that's just an extra thing that's in there. That's actually coming in AT 3.1.7. So that is an addition to the color set, which will be coming very shortly. So let's have a look at how this all works first. So if we go to our color sets, go into our AT color set class, and we're going to look at this CSS. I'm going to do it full screen so it's a bit easier to read. So what we've got here is for any class that has the color set variation applied to it, so it basically has to have color set dash as part of the class name. We're going to set our background, our text color to our variable of text color and our background to a variable of background. Now, what we do with the variations is we go to the color set neutral and have a look at that. We set our text color to whatever color we want. We set our background to whatever we want. And that is where we change our settings. So our variations are just a bunch of variables. That's all they are, and they affect the main class here, which applies those variables in a very consistent way. So it makes our variation very simple and easy because all of the application is done in the main class here. All right, so we also then added, again, this is as of AT 3.1.7, the ATF framework gets updated to include this part here, where it looks for anything that has a color set and has a class of accent, or starting with, not starting with, so the star equals means that the class needs to contain that word accent. So anything inside this color set that contains the word accent, we're going to set the text to our accent text color. Okay. Now, we had to do this without a where clause because of some bricks settings that would override these if we don't. But wherever possible, we use this where clause, which basically says to the CSS processor that this inside those brackets has zero specificity. Because one of the issues we always have with CSS is trying not to override rules where we don't want to override them. And this here basically says if our color is already set somewhere else, so we've got another rule that we create that sets the color, this does not apply. If we change our link colors anywhere else that applies to this set of DOM objects, then this does not apply. Same with our headings. Where's our down our headings? Sorry, that is that rule there. So all of our headings, if you set the heading color anywhere else, even if you set it in the theme, this rule does not apply because we're weakening that with the where clause. In your particular instance, if you did set your colors in the theme and you still want these color sets to override, you're going to have to come into this rule and just delete that where and the bracket at the end there, so it makes the rule more specific, then it will override. But we weaken it initially, and then you have control if you want to strengthen it by removing the wear. Okay, so I've got aeroplanes flying over here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in the background. Still in an Airbnb in Chiang Mai, Thailand for the next 2 weeks. So there we go. Finally found a place to live. Anyway, so that is the color sets. We've also got these, which you might not have seen, the wrappers. So we look for any class that has header wrapper, body wrapper, footer wrapper, or media wrapper, and we apply colors and backgrounds to that. So let's have a quick look at that. So with this set here, I'm going to add a block. I'm going to call this my header wrapper. In fact, what I might do is give this a name. Let's call this whole section my test section. And we're going to give it a header wrapper. We're going to put our heading and our basic text inside the header wrapper. Okay, so we've got a wrapper there with two things inside it. If I now right click on my test section and I create my classes from that, you immediately see behind the header wrapper, I've got a white with slight opacity. Let's have a look at how that works. If we go to the section, we have a look at our color set neutral D3. We have our header wrapper color, there's extra space there, and our header wrapper background. So the background is AT white transparent 5. If I want this to be dark, I'm going to change that to a black. Okay, and we're going to make that transparent 2 or 1. Did I mess that up? I didn't spell black correctly. Typos. Black T4, T5. Okay, so we've got a black T5, for example, there. We can then come to our header wrapper. We're going to chuck some padding on that. We're going to use the variable picker, AT variable picker, and we're just going to say it's our small. Again, that's coming in that actual context there. Let's have a look at that again. I actually hadn't looked at this. This is an AT 3.1.7. They've changed this so that actually a lot easier to read. So that's our spacing scale, and we've just got our sizes there. So I just say M there. When we go to our border, go to our border there, and we're going to set the border, link that, use our variable picker, and here's our border radiuses there. Okay, so I'm going to go small, medium. All right, so there is our settings for our header wrapper, and we automatically get a background color when we change that color set, because it is defined using this variable right here, which is our header wrapper color, our header wrapper background, and then in the color set itself, we look down here and anything that has the class of color set dash dash, so it is a variation, and then we have a class that contains header wrapper. We're going to apply those variables to it. So we end up with just having a set of these here, and we just set our variables. Okay, really simple, right? Now, what happens if you want a completely different color set? We're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to delete that class off there. So we've got no color set on there. And I'm going to create my own. I'm going to call it test or color set. You've got to start with color set dash dash so it knows it is a color set variation. If you don't do that, the CSS rules don't know to apply this rule. So I'm going to call it color set. I'll call it CTA. Okay. Go. Enter. Now I've got nothing there yet. So I go to my CSS and I start using a recipe. at-colorset. There's my color set. Click on it. Press tab. There's all of my variables rearing to go. So I'm going to set my background. I'm going to use a gradient. I'm going to go gradient, linear gradient. Let's start with, say, 30 degrees. See what that looks like. Red, black. Okay, 30 degrees, red, black. We've got a red to black gradient for our background. Okay, let's go use our primary color. So we're going to go primary. Let's go primary D3. So we go primary D3 through to a primary maybe D6. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we can make that D5. Okay, so we've got a gradient there by just setting a linear gradient on our color set CTA. Let's set the typography color to a light. So we'll get a light 5. Actually, we'll change it to primary. This is for our text. Actually, we're setting text inside this heading as well. So we're going to then take that variable. I'm going to set that inside of our header wrapper color. Now we just changed the color inside of our header wrapper. Okay, so you're getting how simple this is, right? Now let's look at our heading. What was our headings? That's a neutral D6. Let's change that to a primary L6. Or maybe we want that less, maybe an L4. So headings might be more like the primary, and our copy is a bit less. Oops, too many colons. So you can see this, we've got our links, we can change the color in our links, we can change the wrapper body, wrapper background color. In fact, let's go for our background on here. Let's do a primary T3. Okay, that's too much. Maybe T4, T5. We've got a primary. Rather than using a white, we're using a primary transparency for the background on our header. So it is up to you. You use the existing utility class variations that we've created, like these ones here, or you create your own if you want it very different. Right, now that is that. Now all you have to do is if you create a new section and we put some content in there and whatever you want in there, and we then go to our section, make that a color set. And we're going to use our color set CTA. We have exactly the same styling. And you note in here, we don't have a heading background because we haven't got a class in there that has the name header-wrapper in it. Okay. So that is as simple as it gets, I think. And we're going to delete that now. The next thing is someone asked in one of the questions in YouTube, what about the button? Now, buttons are handled separately because, if you select that and that should be your primary. If you select the secondary, that's your secondary. You select your dark, your light, that's your light. You set your dark, that's your dark, right? That just makes sense. What you can do, if you leave that on primary, let's come back to our test section here. We've got our color set CTA. We have another beautiful little class that you can use, a recipe, which is a button. So we're inside of our color set CTA. We're going to do @BUT. There's our button. Tab. There is our button. We don't want to change any of this stuff here. We don't want to change any of the outline stuff. So we're going to get rid of all that. Get rid of all the stuff here because we're not going to use the outline properties. We don't want to bother with the border width or the box shadow. So let's get rid of those. We'll leave all the radius as well as it is. So we just want to deal with the colors here. Outline border radius, border width, get rid of those. Okay, so you've got everything there just in case you want to use it, and we'll get rid of those outline shadows as well. Okay, we're left with a transition. Again, we're not going to probably change our transition, so my mouse has just died on me. There we go. Get rid of the button transitions, and we're left with our colors. So what we can do now is let's look at our, we're going to use the button primary because we're just going to target that primary button there. So we're going to target the primary and we're going to change that to be a neutral color. Let's make that neutral D3. That's the color. Sorry, what am I doing? The background. I'm on the wrong one. Let's make that our neutral D3. Okay, so we've got a neutral D3 for our background. We're going to again go on our background hover. Let's go neutral L3. Okay, so we go from, did I mess that up? I think I did. Just going to get rid of that. Neutral L3. Okay, so when we hover, we get an L3. And we've got our color set to primary L6. Let's make it L4, 3. So we're changing the color of the text on the button. And then on the hover, we want that to be a primary. Maybe just make it primary. See what that looks like. No, that's ugly. That's ugly. Okay, well, maybe we do want the primary, so we'll make the background go darker. So the background on hover, neutral, D5 maybe. So it darkens, okay? So now what we've done is said that in this color set, we want our primary button to behave like this. We don't want it to behave like the normal primary. So if I go in there and I add another button, okay, and we make that our secondary button, it's a normal secondary button because we're only targeting the primary. Go to here, we're only targeting the primary colors here. So a primary button is going to change because we've targeted the primary button colors, or the primary colors, I should say. So effectively, we can control the buttons inside color sets, and we can then change the property. So if I go back to this color set here and get rid of my CTA, and we make that a color set of, let's make that a primary D5. So we've got our standard buttons, standard background. Okay, we want our call to action color set. It's ETA. Here's our call to action color set, and our primary button has just changed colors. So that is as easy as it is to change color sets and can apply these consistently, create your own. I've showed you how to actually create a custom button in here too, which is going to be a separate video when I talk about the custom buttons and the management. But this can't be any easier, right? Now, I've showed you doing this using the CSS, where we're creating overrides in here for our CSS. You could just as easily do this using the UI. So if we're on that color set CTA, we can just as easily go to the, where is it? The custom gradient overlay. Let's set that to be radial, add a color of, maybe it's this color. Maybe we'll do it just so you can see it's different. And we're going to add another one. Maybe the dark version. There we go. And we're going to tell it to put that on the top right. Okay. So you can use your UI. You can use your UI to set your backgrounds, and it's just easy. I think it's just super easy. That's all related back to this color set CTA class, which then applies to the color set utility class or block level utility class. I think it couldn't be easier than this, and anyone that thinks this is complicated probably needs to go back to school. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you enjoy this and this helps you with understanding how to use these color sets.